Echo of Peace, a science fiction tale of cosmic healing. Echo of Peace, a sci-fi tale of cosmic healing, Chapter 1. The landing, the sky was a bruised purple over the Nevada desert when the thing came down. Not a crash exactly, more like a controlled descent that didn't quite stick the landing. Dust billowed in thick clouds as the shimmering craft carved a trench through the sand, its hull glinting with a rainbow sheen that flickered like oil on water. It was small, no bigger than a private jet, its smooth curves bending inward as if folding into itself even as it sat still. No engines hummed, no lights blinked, just an eerie silence that prickled specialist Dana Torres's skin. She gripped her tablet, telemetry data flashing from the drones overhead. Unidentified object, confirmed stationary, she said into her comms, voice steady despite her racing pulse. No heat signature, no radiation. It's quiet. Quiet doesn't mean safe, crackled Commander Rick Halstead's reply. His voice was gravelly, worn from years barking orders in war zones. Keep those drones tight, eyes on every angle. Dana nodded, unseen. She stood at the perimeter, a half-mile out, flanked by black SUVs and hazmat-suited techs scurrying like ants. The base, a research outpost officially, a black site tied to NASA's shadow projects unofficially, was 20 minutes away, hidden behind red rock ridges. They'd scrambled when NORAD flagged the anomaly, something entering the atmosphere at impossible speed, then slowing like it had brakes, before settling here. "Looks like it's waiting," said Dr. Miles Carter, adjusting his glasses as he peered through binoculars. The team's lead xenobiologist, lanky with a mop of brown hair, had a knack for stating the obvious. No propulsion, no debris. This wasn't an accident. "Or it's a trap," Halstead growled, stepping from the lead SUV. Broad-shouldered, his buzzed hair mostly gray, his sharp blue eyes cut through doubt like a blade. A jagged scar ran across his jaw, a silent relic of some classified op. "Torres, get me a visual inside. Carter, prep containment. I don't care if it's a balloon or little green men. We're not taking chances." Dana tapped her tablet, guiding a drone closer. Its feed flickered. The craft's surface rippled like liquid metal, then stabilized. A seam split silently, revealing a hatch. "Movement," she said, voice tight. "It's opening." Halstead's hand went to his pistol. "Positions now." Soldiers fanned out, rifles up, while Carter and the techs hauled scanners and a quarantine tent from a van. Dana's drone zoomed in as a figure emerged. Not a weapon, not a machine, but something alive. Tall, impossibly thin, it stepped onto the sand with uncanny grace. 7 feet at least, its pale gray skin shimmered faintly under the dying light. Long, delicate fingers flexed, and its oversized head tilted, revealing eyes like twin pools of ink, deep and unblinking. It wore a sleek, pearl-white suit that hugged its form, the fabric dancing with holographic color. A gold bracelet gleamed on one wrist, studded with pulsing gems, and a matching necklace hung around its neck. A radiant gem glowed in its forehead, steady and warm. "Holy shit!" Carter breathed, binoculars slipping. "That's not human." "No kidding!" Dana snapped, her drone pulling back as the figure advanced a step. "Commander, orders?" Halstead stared, jaw tight. "Hold fire. Torres, scan it. Carter, what are we looking at?" Dana's fingers flew, activating biosensors. "No mammalian heat signature. Low EM output. Maybe from that suit. It's alive, but not like us." "Extraterrestrial," Carter said, almost giddy. "Bipedal, possibly carbon-based. But that tech, it's beyond us. Look at the symmetry." The figure raised a hand, palm out, and Halstead tensed. But it didn't move further, just stood, calm as a statue, its black eyes sweeping the team. A voice cut the silence, low and resonant, like a bell underwater. "I mean no harm." Dana froze. Carter's jaw dropped. Halstead barked, "Who said that?" "I did," it replied, mouth unmoving, the sound echoing inside their heads. I have come to speak. You may take me, if you wish. Take you? Halstead echoed, suspicion thick. What the hell are you? A guest, it said, a flicker of amusement in its tone. Or a prisoner, if you prefer. You may call me Zha'ren. Dana blinked. Zha'ren. The name hung in the air, strange yet soft, like a whisper from somewhere vast. Guessed my ass, Halstead muttered, then flinched as a scream cut through. Dana spun to see a woman, civilian, mid-30s, dark hair tangled, stumbling from behind an SUV, clutching a wide-eyed girl, maybe 8. Stay back! The woman yelled, voice raw. We didn't mean to. Who the hell are you? Halstead snapped, storming over. Lena Hayes, she stammered, pulling the girl closer. This is Mia, my daughter. We were camping, saw the lights, got too close. Please, we just want to go home. Too late, Halstead said, glaring at a soldier. How'd they get through? Sir, Save it. He turned to Zha'ren, who hadn't moved, its gaze now on Mia. The girl stared back, unafraid, pointing a small hand. It's pretty, Mia said softly. Zha'ren's head tilted. Thank you, small one, it said, voice warm. Halstead cursed. Torres, secure the civvies. Carter, get that thing in containment. We're moving, now. Dana ushered Lena and Mia to an SUV, mind racing. Zha'ren didn't resist, as soldiers flanked it, guiding it into a reinforced transport. Its gems pulsed brighter, then dimmed, as if settling in. Dana glanced at her tablet. The craft sealed shut behind it, like it knew its pilot was gone. For now. The convoy rolled out, dust swirling as the base loomed, a squat concrete fortress half buried in the rock. Inside, Jake Reese waited in the observation room, camera rolling. Lean and scruffy, with a perpetual smirk, he'd been tapped to document this for the higher-ups. So? He drawled as Halstead stormed in. We got an ET? Shut up and film, Halstead said, shoving past to the control panel. Zha'ren was led into a sterile chamber below, glass walls separating it from the team. Carter hovered over scanners, muttering about unprecedented readings, while Dana synced her data. Lena sat in a corner, Mia on her lap, whispering about the shiny man. Halstead hit the intercom, voice cold. All right, Zha'ren, start talking. What are you doing here? Zha'ren sat, floated almost, onto a bench, fingers folding neatly. I am here to share, it said, that bell-like tone unwavering. You have captured me, as I intended. Now we may begin. Intended, Carter echoed, eyes wide. Begin what? Halstead demanded. Zha'ren's black eyes gleamed. The healing of your world, it said, a faint smile curving its lipless mouth. If you'll listen. Silence fell, thick and heavy. Jake zoomed in, catching the gem on its forehead flare briefly. Dana's tablet pinged, an anomaly in Zha'ren's EM field, unreadable. Halstead's scar twitched, his hand hovering over his gun, but he didn't draw. Listening's free, he said finally, voice low, but if you're lying, you'll regret it. Zha'ren inclined its head, serene. I do not lie, Rick Halstead, nor do I regret. Dana's breath caught. How did it know his name? Halstead's face darkened, but before he could snap back, Mia giggled. He's funny, she said, and Zha'ren's gaze softened, just for a moment. The desert night pressed against the base, and inside, something irreversible had begun. Chapter 2. First Contact. The observation room smelled of stale coffee and antiseptic, a sterile hum buzzing from the fluorescent lights overhead. Dana Torres leaned against the console, her tablet syncing fresh data from Zha'ren's containment chamber below. The alien sat motionless on the bench, its pearl-white suit shimmering faintly under the harsh glare, like a pearl caught in a spotlight. Its black eyes stared straight ahead, unblinking, and the gem in its forehead pulsed with a slow, steady rhythm, Almost like a heartbeat, she thought, though her scan said otherwise. Commander Rick Halstead stood at the glass, arms crossed, his scar twitching as he glared down. "It knows my name," he muttered, voice low enough that only Dana caught it. "How the hell does it know my name?" "Maybe it's psychic," Jake Reese offered from behind his camera, tripod steady as he panned across the room. His smirk was half hidden by the viewfinder. "Or, it hacked your personnel file on the way down." "Not helping," Halstead snapped. But his eyes didn't leave Zha'ren. The alien hadn't spoken since its cryptic promise to heal the world, and the silence gnawed at him. He tapped the intercom again. "You said you're here to share. Share what? And don't give me riddles. I want answers." Zharen's head tilted slightly, the gold necklace glinting as it shifted. "Answers are earned, Rick Halstead," it said, that bell-like voice reverberating through the speakers. "But I will begin with this. I chose to be here. Your capture was my design." Dana's fingers paused over her tablet. "You wanted us to grab you?" she asked, unable to keep the disbelief out of her tone. "Yes," Zha'ren replied, its gaze shifting to her. "It is the simplest way to reach you. Your kind is cautious. I wished to speak, not to fight." Dr. Miles Carter, hunched over a scanner at the far end of the room, looked up, glasses slipping down his nose. "That's insane. You're saying you landed, just to get our attention? What if we'd shot you?" Zharen's lipless mouth curved faintly, a hint of amusement in its tone. "You did not. And if you had, I would not be harmed. My craft could retrieve me, should I wish it. I am not bound here." Halstead's jaw tightened. "So you're saying you can leave any time? Call your ship and waltz out?" "Yes," Zha'ren said simply. "Or I could render you all still, your minds, your machines, in a moment's breath. But I choose not to. I am here to teach." A chill ran down Dana's spine. She glanced at her tablet. The EM anomaly from earlier spiked briefly, then flatlined. "It's not bluffing," she muttered to Halstead. "There's something in its field, subtle, but it's there, like it's holding back." "Teach what?" Halstead pressed, ignoring her. "You keep talking in circles. If you've got something to say, spit it out." Zha'ren folded its long fingers, the bracelet's gems flaring briefly. "I will speak plainly then. Your world suffers a sickness. You call it war, but it is more a wound in your spirit, an echo from long ago. I am here to offer a key to heal it." Carter straightened, eyes wide. "A sickness? You mean, like, biologically? Psychologically?" "Both," Zha'ren said. "And neither. It is a frequency, a resonance that struck your kind when you were young. When your minds first turned toward the stars, it lingers in you still." Halstead snorted. "Sounds like hippie nonsense. You're telling me war's some cosmic flu?" Zharen's gaze met his, steady and unflinching. "Call it what you will. You feel it, Rick Halstead. In your bones, in your scars. It drives you to destroy what you could instead mend." The room went quiet. Halstead's hand twitched toward his chest, where Dana knew, though he'd never admit it. The weight of his cancer pressed hardest. He didn't respond, just stared, his silence louder than any retort. Lena Hayes shifted in the corner, Mia still on her lap. The woman's dark eyes darted between Zha'ren and the team, her voice hesitant. "If you're here to help, why us? Why not go to the UN or something?" Zha'ren turned to her, its tone softening. "Because you are here, Lena Hayes, and you're small one." It nodded to Mia. "Seize without fear. That is where healing begins." Mia giggled, clutching a crayon she'd found in Lena's bag. "You're shiny," she said, scribbling on a napkin. "Like a star." "Thank you," Zha'ren replied, and Dana swore its gem brightened for a split second. Jake chuckled, zooming in. "Kid's got a point. You're a walking light show." "Enough," Halstead cut in, stepping closer to the glass. "You say you've got a key. What is it? Tech? A weapon?" Don't tell me it's love or some crap. I've heard that line before. Zha'ren's amusement returned, subtle but sharp. Not a weapon, no, nor mere words. It is a way, a path your kind must walk. I will show you, if you allow it. But first, you must ask better questions. Better questions? Halstead echoed, incredulous. How's this? What's stopping me from locking you in a deeper hole and tearing that ship apart for answers? Zha'ren leaned forward slightly, its voice dropping to a near whisper. Nothing stops you, save yourself. But if you did, you would find only silence. My craft answers to me alone. And it paused, eyes glinting, would simply return when you were ready to listen. Carter whistled low. That's a hell of a flex. Dana shot him a look, then turned to Halstead. Commander, it's not lying. At least, not that I can tell. The readings back it up. Whatever it's doing, it's in control. Halstead didn't reply, just stared at Zha'ren, the air thick with unspoken challenge. Then Mia piped up again, holding up her napkin. Look, she said, waving a crude drawing of a tall figure with a glowing dot on its head. It's you! Zha'ren inclined its head. A fine likeness, small one. You see well. Lena pulled Mia closer, whispering, Honey, shh. But her eyes stayed on Zha'ren, wary yet curious. Jake swung his camera to catch the exchange, muttering, This is gold! Oscar-worthy. Focus! Dana hissed, then turned to the console, pulling up the drone footage from the landing. Commander, its ship's still out there, sealed tight. No one's getting in without a blowtorch. And even then, I'm not sure. Halstead rubbed his jaw, the scar stretching. Fine, let's say I bite. You're here to teach. You've got some magic fix for war. Why should we trust you? What's in it for you? Zha'ren sat back, its suit rippling faintly. Trust is not required, only patience. As for me, I gain nothing you would. Understand, my kind seeks balance, not profit. Your healing is part of a greater whole. Greater whole? Carter asked, scribbling notes. You mean, like, the galaxy? Beyond, Zha'ren said, and left it at that. The intercom crackled as Halstead leaned in, voice hard. I don't like vague. You want us to listen, give me something solid, right now. Zha'ren's gem pulsed once, bright and slow. Very well, I will begin with this. Your violence is not your nature, but a shadow cast upon it. I can lift that shadow if you let me. Ask me how, and we will proceed. Carter's pen stopped. Dana's tablet beeped, another EM spike fading fast. Jake lowered his camera, just for a second, his smirk gone. Lena hugged Mia tighter, and the girl hummed a soft, tuneless note that seemed to echo Zha'ren's calm. Halstead didn't move, his blue eyes locked on the alien's black ones. All right, he said finally, voice rough. How? Zha'ren's faint smile returned. With time, it said. And with you. The words hung there, simple yet heavy, as the observation room's lights flickered once, then steadied. Below, Zha'ren sat still, a beacon of quiet in the storm it had just unleashed. Chapter 3. The Sickness of War. The air in the observation room felt thicker now, as if Zha'ren's words had settled into the walls, weighing them down. Dana Torres tapped her tablet absently, replaying the alien's last line, with time and with you, while her eyes flicked to the containment chamber below. Zha'ren sat there, serene as ever, its pearl-white suit catching the light in faint shifting hues. The gem in its forehead pulsed slow and steady, a metronome to the chaos brewing above. Commander Rick Halstead paced in front of the glass, his boots thudding against the concrete floor. All right, Zha'ren, he said, voice rough but deliberate. You've got my attention. You say war's a sickness, a shadow we can lift. How? And don't give me more poetry. Give me something I can grab onto. Zha'ren's black eyes met his through the glass, unblinking. Very well, it said, that resonant tone filling the room like a tide. It begins with understanding. Your violence is not your essence, but a scar, a mark left by a sound, a frequency that struck your kind long ago. Dr. Miles Carter perked up from his corner, shoving his glasses up his nose. A frequency? Like, what? A sonic wave? Radiation? Give me something I can measure. Zha'ren tilted its head, the gold necklace glinting. Not a sound you hear with ears, nor a light you see with eyes. It is a vibration, deeper than your instruments yet grasp. It came when your ancestors stood on two legs, when their minds first reached beyond the dirt. A ripple from a distant wound. Another world's collapse, perhaps. It touched you, and it stayed. Dana frowned, her tablet screen flickering as she pulled up atmospheric data from the landing. You're saying some cosmic event messed with early humans? Altered us? Not altered, Zha'ren corrected, its tone gentle but firm. Echoed. It was a whisper of fear, of loss, that lodged in your spirit. You built upon it. Tribes, then cities, then wars. It is not your fault, but it is your burden. Halstead stopped pacing, hands on his hips. So we're cursed because some alien planet blew up 1,000,000 years ago? That's your pitch? Zha'ren's lipless mouth curved faintly, a flicker of humor in its eyes. Not cursed, Rick Halstead. Wounded. And wounds heal, if tended. You ask how? By seeing the echo for what it is, a shadow, not a truth. By choosing to quiet it. Jake Reese snorted from behind his camera, zooming in on Zha'ren's face. Sounds like therapy for the whole damn species. Where do I sign up? Quiet, Dana hissed, though she caught a smirk tugging at her own lips. She glanced at Halstead, who didn't laugh, just stared, his scar stark under the lights. Lena Hayes shifted in her seat, Mia doodling quietly on her lap. If it's a shadow, Lena said, voice tentative, how do we quiet it? What does that even mean? Zha'ren turned to her, its gem flaring briefly. It means to see violence as sickness, not strength. To name it as you would a fever, something to mend, not to wield. Your kind has made it a virtue, a tool. That is the echo's lie. Carter scribbled furiously, muttering, fascinating. A cultural reframe, violence as pathology. But there's got to be more. A mechanism? There is, Zha'ren said, but it begins with will. Your minds must turn from the echo's hum. I can guide you, show you the steps. It is not swift, but it is certain. Halstead's eyes narrowed. Steps? You mean tech? Something in that fancy suit of yours? Zha'ren's bracelet pulsed, and its tone took on a playful edge. This! It lifted its wrist, the gems catching the light. A tool, yes, but not the key. The key is within you, all of you. I merely point the way. Point faster, Halstead growled. I'm not here for a philosophy class. Zha'ren inclined its head, unperturbed. Then ask me a question worth answering, Rick Halstead. You mistrust me. Why? The room stilled. Halstead's hand twitched toward his chest again, that unconscious gesture Dana had clocked before. He didn't answer right away, and the silence stretched until Mia broke it, her small voice cutting through like a bell. Why do people fight? She asked, looking up from her drawing, a stick figure with a glowing head, surrounded by jagged lines. If it's bad, why don't they stop? Zha'ren's gaze softened, locking onto the girl. A wise question, small one. They fight because the echo tells them to, because it feels like survival, like need. They do not see it as bad, only as what is. But you see clearer. You feel it is wrong, yes? Mia nodded, crayon pausing. It makes Mommy sad, and the news is loud. Lena's breath hitched, her arms tightening around Mia. She's right, she whispered, almost to herself. It's everywhere. Wars, shootings. It's heavy. It is, Zha'ren agreed, its voice a balm. And that heaviness is the echo's weight. You carry it, all of you, though some feel it more. Dana's tablet beeped, another EM spike fading fast. Commander? she said low. It's doing something again. Subtle but consistent. Every time it talks about this echo. Halstead didn't look at her, his eyes still on Zha'ren. You're dodging, he said finally, answering its earlier jab. I don't trust you because I don't know you. You show up, talk big, act like you're in charge. For all I know, you're here to sell us a lie and fly off laughing. Zha'ren's faint smile returned, sharp with wit. If I wished to lie, Rick Halstead, I would tell you war is noble, that your scars are medals. You would believe that more easily, yes? But I speak what you fear to hear, that your strength is your weakness, twisted by time. Halstead's face darkened, but he didn't snap back. Carter leaned forward, pen tapping his notepad. Okay, let's test this. If it's a frequency, can you show us? Prove it's real? Zha'ren's gem flared, brighter this time, and a low hum filled the chamber. Not loud, but deep, vibrating in their bones. Dana's tablet fritzed, static crackling across the screen. Mia clapped her hands over her ears, giggling, while Lena gasped. Jake's camera wobbled, then steadied. What the hell? Halstead started, but Zha'ren raised a hand and the hum stopped. A taste, it said. Not the echo itself, but its shadow. You felt it, yes? A pull? A weight? Dana nodded, shaken. My readings went haywire. It's like it bypassed the sensors. Because it is not yours to measure, Zha'ren said. Not yet. Your tools chase the surface. The echo lives deeper. Carter's eyes gleamed. That was electromagnetic, gravitational, something, if we could isolate it. You will, Zha'ren cut in, when you are ready. First, you must choose to seek it. Halstead rubbed his jaw, the scar stretching. And if we don't? If we say no to your little lesson? Zha'ren sat back, its suit rippling. Then I will leave, and you will carry the echo still. Another will come, in time, when your world grows too heavy to bear. But I would rather stay, with you. Why us? Lena asked again, voice stronger now. Why not someone bigger? Zha'ren's gaze swept the room. Halstead's scowl, Dana's frown, Carter's scribbles, Jake's lens, Mia's crayon. Because you are here, it said, and because you ask. That is enough. Mia grinned, holding up her drawing. You're nice, she said, and the jagged lines around the stick figure now looked softer, like waves. Thank you, small one, Zha'ren replied, its gem pulsing warm. Jake chuckled, muttering, Kids stealing the show. Halstead didn't laugh. He stepped closer to the glass, voice low. You've got one chance to prove this isn't bullshit. Show me something real, Zha'ren. No hums, no tricks. Something I can feel in my gut. Zha'ren nodded, slow and deliberate. Tomorrow, it said, when your sun rises, I will show you. But you must be open, Rick Halstead. The echo fights to be heard. The promise hung there, heavy as the silence that followed. Dana's tablet settled, the lights steadied, and below, Zha'ren sat still, a quiet storm waiting to break. Chapter 4. The Gift. The base was quiet in the pre-dawn hours, a stillness that felt unnatural against the hum of machines and the faint buzz of tension that hadn't left since Zha'ren's arrival. Dana Torres sat at the observation console, her tablet dimmed, eyes bleary from staring at the same looping data. EM spikes, frequency anomalies, nothing solid enough to pin down. Below, in the containment chamber, Zha'ren hadn't moved all night, its long, thin form poised on the bench, pearl-white suit shimmering like a beacon in the dark. The gem in its forehead glowed softly, a steady pulse that synced with nothing she could measure. Commander Rick Halstead slumped in a chair nearby, arms crossed, his scar catching the faint light. He hadn't slept either. None of them had, really, except Mia, who'd curled up on Lena's lap in the corner, a blanket tucked around her small frame. Lena stroked her daughter's hair, her own eyes fixed on Zha'ren, a mix of fear and wonder etched into her face. Dr. Miles Carter paced by the scanners, muttering theories under his breath, while Jake Reese fiddled with his camera, the red recording light a constant glow. "Sun's coming up," Dana said, glancing at the clock, 5:47 a.m. "It said when your sun rises, whatever it is." Halstead grunted, not looking at her. "Better not be more hot air. I'm done with lectures." Carter paused mid-step, glasses fogged from his own breath. "It's not just talk, Commander. That hum yesterday, there's something to it. If we could replicate—" "Replicate later," Halstead cut in. "Right now, I want proof. Something I can feel, like it said." Jake smirked, adjusting his lens. "Maybe it'll zap you with alien magic. Make you a believer." "Stow it," Halstead growled. But his eyes stayed on Zha'ren, waiting. The first sliver of sunlight crept through the base's narrow windows, painting faint lines across the floor. Below, Zha'ren stirred, its head tilting upward, as if sensing the dawn through concrete and steel. The gem in its forehead flared, brighter than before, and its black eyes swept the glass, locking onto the team. "It is time," it said, voice ringing through the intercom, calm yet firm. "You asked for something real, Rick Halstead. I will show you." Halstead stood, slow and deliberate, hands on his hips. "About damn time. What's the play?" Zha'ren rose, floated, almost, its long fingers flexing as the bracelet's gems pulsed in sync with the one on its forehead. "Not for you, not yet," it said, and turned its gaze to Mia. "For the small one." Lena's arms tightened around her daughter, her voice sharp. "What?" "No, leave her out of this." Mia blinked awake, rubbing her eyes, unfazed by the tension. "Mommy, he's talking," she mumbled, peering at Zha'ren through the glass. "I mean her no harm," Zha'ren said, its tone softening. "She sees clearly, Lena Hayes. She is ready to carry what I offer." "Carry what?" Dana asked, stepping closer to the console, her tablet forgotten. "What are you doing?" "A gift," Zha'ren replied. "A piece of what I bring, a seed for your kind's healing." Halstead's scar twitched. "You're not touching her, not a chance." Zha'ren tilted its head, amusement flickering in its eyes. "I need not touch, Rick Halstead. Watch and see." Before anyone could move, Zha'ren raised a hand, palm out, the gems flaring bright. A low hum filled the chamber, not the bone-deep rumble from yesterday, but something lighter, like wind through leaves. Mia sat up straighter, her small face lighting with a grin. "It's warm," she said, giggling, and reached out as if catching something invisible. "Mia!" Lena gasped, pulling her back, but the girl wriggled free, hopping off her lap to press her hands against the glass. "It's okay, Mommy," Mia said, voice steady beyond her years. "He's giving me something nice." Dana's tablet fritzed again, static dancing across the screen. "EM spike? Stronger this time," she muttered, glancing at Carter. "You getting this?" Carter fumbled with his scanner, nodding. "Yeah, off the charts, but it's focused, like a beam." Zha'ren's gem pulsed once, bright as a star, and the hum faded. Mia blinked, then turned to Lena, her eyes wide and clear. "It's in my head," she said, tapping her forehead. "Like a song, but quiet." Lena knelt beside her, hands shaking. "What song?" "Baby, what did he do?" Mia shrugged, smiling. "I don't know, it's just there. It feels good." Halstead stormed to the intercom, slamming the button. "What the hell was that, Zha'ren? You said no tricks." "No trick," Zha'ren replied, sitting back down with that serene calm. "A gift. She carries a piece of peace now, a clarity your kind has lost. It will grow with her." "Clarity?" Carter echoed, scribbling fast. "You mean cognitive? Emotional?" "Both," Zha'ren said. "And more." "She will show you, in time." Dana frowned, pulling up the chamber's audio logs. There's a pattern in that hum. Subsonic, maybe. It's not random. Halstead ignored her, glaring at Zha'ren. You don't get to mess with a kid's head and call it a favor. Undo it. Now. Zharen's gaze met his, unflinching. It cannot be undone, nor should it. She is not harmed, Rick Halstead. She is lifted. Ask her. Mia tugged Lena's sleeve, her voice bright. I'm okay, Mommy. It's like when we're by the lake and it's all quiet. I like it. Lena's eyes welled, but she nodded, brushing Mia's hair back. You're sure, baby? Uh-huh, Mia said, then looked at Zha'ren. Thank you. Zha'ren inclined its head. You are welcome, small one. Jake whistled low, camera steady. That's some next-level shit. Kid's glowing, figuratively, I mean. She's not glowing, Dana snapped, though she couldn't deny Mia seemed different. Calmer, yes, but something else. Her eyes sharper, her words too precise for an 8-year-old. Halstead rubbed his jaw, the scar stretching. You're playing games, Zha'ren. What's the angle? Brainwash the kid, then us? Zha'ren's faint smile returned, laced with wit. If I wished to control you, Rick Halstead, I would not start with one so small. She is a mirror, reflecting what you could be. Look closer. Carter adjusted his glasses, leaning toward the glass. Fascinating. If it's a neurological shift, maybe serotonin, dopamine, we could test. Later, Halstead cut in, turning to Lena. She seem off to you? Anything weird? Lena hesitated, studying Mia's face. No, she's fine. Happier, maybe? I don't know. Mia hummed softly, a tuneless melody that felt oddly familiar, like a memory Dana couldn't place. The sound eased the knot in her chest, just for a moment, before she shook it off. Commander, she said low. Whatever it did, it's not hurting her. My readings are clean. No stress markers, no anomalies in her vitals. Halstead didn't respond, just stared at Zha'ren, his silence heavy. Then he hit the intercom again. You said proof I can feel. That wasn't it. That was for her. What about me? Zha'ren's gem pulsed, slow and deliberate. Your proof comes next, it said, when you are ready to feel it in your gut, as you asked. Tomorrow, perhaps. You must open the door first. Open the door? Halstead echoed, voice tight. What's that supposed to mean? Trust, Zha'ren said simply. Or at least the willingness to try. Jake chuckled, muttering, Good luck with that. Halstead shot him a glare, then turned back to Zha'ren. I don't trust easy. You've got one more shot before I start breaking things, starting with that smug look. Zha'ren's amusement deepened, its tone playful. Break what you wish, Rick Halstead. It will not change the truth, but I will wait. For you and for all of you. The sun climbed higher, spilling light across the room, and Mia's humming filled the silence, a quiet thread weaving through the tension. Below, Zha'ren sat still, its black eyes gleaming with patience, and Dana couldn't shake the feeling that the alien saw more than it let on. Chapter 5. Healing the heart, the base hummed with the low drone of generators as the second day stretched into late afternoon. Sunlight slanted through the observation room's narrow windows, casting long shadows across the concrete floor. Dana Torres rubbed her eyes, her tablet a blur of data she'd been combing through since dawn. EM spikes, Mia's vitals, the faint hum from Zha'ren's gift. Nothing concrete, just echoes of something she couldn't pin down. Below, in the containment chamber, Zha'ren sat as it had all day, its pearl-white suit shimmering faintly, the gem in its forehead glowing with that steady, maddening pulse. Commander Rick Halstead stood at the glass, his broad frame rigid, hands clenched behind his back. The scar on his jaw stood out sharper today, a jagged line against skin that looked paler, tauter, than it had yesterday. He hadn't said much since Zha'ren's promise of proof at sunrise, a promise that hadn't come, not yet, and the silence was wearing on him. Dana knew why, though he'd never admit it. The weight in his chest, the blood cancer eating at him, a secret he carried like a grenade with the pin half pulled. Dr. Miles Carter hovered over his scanners, muttering about resonance patterns, while Lena Hayes sat with Mia, the girl sketching quietly, more stick figures with glowing heads, now surrounded by wavy lines like water. Jake Reese leaned against the wall, camera rolling, his usual smirk subdued. The air felt heavy, expectant, like the moment before a storm breaks. "You said tomorrow," Halstead finally growled into the intercom, his voice rougher than usual. "Sun's up, been up. Where's my proof, Zha'ren? Or was that just more smoke?" Zha'ren's head tilted, black eyes locking onto him through the glass. "It is not smoke, Rick Halstead," it said, that bell-like tone steady as ever. "It is time. You asked for something in your gut. I will give it." Halstead's scar twitched. "Then stop stalling and do it." Zha'ren rose, its long fingers flexing, the bracelet's gems flaring briefly. "You carry a wound," it said, stepping closer to the glass. "Not the one on your face, but deeper. It gnaws at you, yes?" The room stilled. Dana's breath caught, her tablet forgotten. Halstead's hand drifted to his chest, an unconscious move he caught and forced down. "What's that supposed to mean?" he snapped, but his voice cracked, just a hair. "I see it," Zha'ren said, its gem pulsing brighter. "A sickness in your blood, a shadow in your bones. You hide it, but it speaks loud. Shall I quiet it?" Carter's glasses slipped down his nose. "Wait, sickness? Commander, are you—" "Shut up!" Halstead barked, not looking at him. His eyes stayed on Zha'ren, narrow and hard. "You don't know shit about me." "I know enough," Zha'ren replied, its tone gentle but unyielding. "You tire faster now. Your breath catches. Your color fades. It is not your fault, but it is your burden. Let me lift it." Lena's hand froze in Mia's hair, her voice soft. "Is he sick?" Halstead didn't answer, his jaw clenched so tight Dana thought it might crack. She stepped forward, hesitant. "Commander, if it's true—" "It's not your business." He cut her off, but his glare faltered, flickering to Zha'ren. "How do you know? You scanning me or something?" Zha'ren's faint smile returned, laced with wit. "I need no machines, Rick Halstead. Your spirit hums louder than your words. Will you let me help?" Jake lowered his camera, just for a second. "This is getting heavy," he muttered, almost to himself. Halstead rubbed his chest again, then dropped his hand, squaring his shoulders. "Fine! You want to play doctor? Prove it. But if this is a trick—" "It is not," Zha'ren said, and raised both hands, palms out. The gems flared, bracelet, necklace, forehead, a triad of light that filled the chamber with a warm, golden glow. A hum rose, deeper than before, vibrating through the glass, the floor, their bones. Dana's tablet fritzed, static swallowing the screen. Carter's scanner whined, then went silent. Halstead stiffened, his breath hitching. "What the hell?" "Be still," Zha'ren said, its voice cutting through the hum like a blade through silk. The light pulsed once, sharp and bright, and Halstead staggered, clutching his chest. His knees buckled, and he hit the floor with a grunt, one hand slamming against the console for support. "Commander!" Dana lunged forward, grabbing his arm, but he waved her off, gasping. The hum peaked, then faded, and Zha'ren lowered its hands, the gems dimming to a soft glow. Halstead stayed down, breathing hard, sweat beading on his forehead. The room was silent, save for Mia's small gasp. "He's okay," she said, peering over Lena's arm. "I can tell." Lena pulled her back, eyes wide. "What did you do to him?" Zha'ren sat back down, serene as ever. "I mended him," it said. "The sickness is gone. He will feel it soon." Carter scrambled to his scanner, shaking it. "Dead, damn it. Dana, anything?" She swiped at her tablet, rebooting it. "Nothing yet. Systems crashed, but he's alive. Vitals look stable from the chamber sensors." Halstead pushed himself up, slow and shaky, his blue eyes wide with something Dana hadn't seen before. Shock, maybe fear. He pressed a hand to his chest, then his neck, feeling for a pulse. He stopped, swallowing hard. It's different. Different how? Dana asked, her voice tight. He didn't answer right away, just stared at his hands. Hands that looked less pale, less veined, even in the dim light. Lighter, he said finally, voice rough, like a weight's gone. Jake zoomed in, whispering, "Holy shit, he's not kidding!" Carter shoved past, pulling a med kit from the wall. "Commander, let me check. Pulse, blood pressure." Halstead waved him off, standing straighter now, his color creeping back. Ruddy, not gray. "I'm fine," he said. But it wasn't a snap, more a marvel. He turned to Zha'ren, eyes narrowing. "You did that? Just fixed it?" "Yes," Zha'ren said, its tone matter-of-fact. "Your blood was heavy with shadow. I lifted it. You asked for proof in your gut. This is it." Halstead rubbed his chest again, then laughed. A short, gruff bark that startled everyone. "Son of a bitch, you're not kidding." Zha'ren's smile widened, playful. "I rarely kid, Rick Halstead. But when I do, you will laugh more." Dana stared, her mind racing. "Commander, we need to test this. Blood work, scans." "Tomorrow," he said, cutting her off, his voice steadier now. "I feel it, Torres. It's real." Lena's eyes welled, her voice soft. "You were dying?" Halstead glanced at her, then away, the scar softening as his face relaxed. "Yeah," he admitted, low. "Didn't want to drag it out." Mia slipped off Lena's lap, padding over to him. "You're better now," she said, matter-of-fact, and patted his hand. "He made you shiny, too." Halstead blinked, then chuckled again, softer this time. "Guess he did, kid." Jake swung his camera to Mia, muttering, "This is unreal. Oscar bait, right here." Carter adjusted his glasses, breathless. "If it can heal cancer, spontaneously, that's beyond medicine. Beyond anything." Zha'ren inclined its head. "It is not beyond, Miles Carter. It is within reach, when you learn to see." Halstead stepped closer to the glass, his gruff edge dulled, replaced by something raw. "Why me?" "Why not her?" He nodded to Mia. "Or Torres, or anyone." "Because you asked," Zha'ren said, "and because you needed it most. Your wound was loud, Rick Halstead. Now it is quiet." He didn't reply, just stared, his hand still on his chest. Dana watched him, watched the gray fade from his hairline, the lines ease from his face, and felt a chill. "Commander," she said, quiet, "you look younger." He caught his reflection in the glass, froze, then shook his head. "Hell of a trick," he muttered, but there was no bite in it. "No trick," Zha'ren said. "Truth. You are mended. What you do with it is yours to choose." The room settled, the weight of the moment sinking in. Mia hummed again, that same tuneless melody, now joined by a faint echo in Halstead's stance, his breath, his eyes. Below, Zha'ren sat still, its black gaze warm with patience, and for the first time, Dana saw the commander look back with something like respect. Chapter 6. Keys of Wisdom. The observation room buzzed with a new energy the next morning, a crackle of possibility cutting through the stale air. Dana Torres stood at the console, her tablet humming with fresh data. Halstead's vitals from a quick blood draw Carter had insisted on at dawn. The results were impossible. No trace of cancer, red blood cell counts surging, even his telomeres, those tiny clocks of aging, showing signs of repair. She'd triple-checked it, but the numbers didn't lie. Neither, it seemed, did Zha'ren. Commander Rick Halstead leaned against the wall, arms crossed, looking 10 years lighter, literally. His gray hair had darkened to a steely brown at the roots, his skin less sallow, his eyes sharper. He hadn't said much since the healing, just nodded when Carter stammered through the results, but the set of his jaw was different, less clenched, more thoughtful. Dr. Miles Carter hovered over his own gear, glasses fogged with excitement, muttering about cellular regeneration beyond current science. Lena Hayes sat with Mia, the girl sketching again, wavy lines now circling her stick figures like halos. Lena's eyes kept darting to Halstead, then Zha'ren, a quiet awe softening her face. Jake Reese adjusted his camera, the red light steady, his usual smirk replaced by a rare focus. Below, in the containment chamber, Zha'ren sat as always, pearl-white suit shimmering, gems pulsing, black eyes calm and deep. Halstead broke the silence, stepping to the intercom. "All right, Zha'ren," he said, voice gruff but steady. "You've got my attention. Hell, you've got my gut. You healed me, gave the kids something. What's next? You keep talking about fixing the world. How?" Zha'ren rose, its long fingers folding neatly, the bracelet's gems flaring briefly. "Thank you for listening, Rick Halstead," it said, that bell-like tone warm. "I bring keys, ways to heal your earth, to quiet the echo of war, to carry you beyond this single rock. You are ready to hear them." Dana's tablet beeped, and she glanced at it. Nothing new, just the same EM hum. "Keys?" she asked, leaning in. "You mean technology? Systems?" "More than that," Zha'ren replied, its gaze sweeping the room. "Tools, yes, but also choices. Your kind must wield them together, or they are nothing." Carter adjusted his glasses, pen poised. "Lay it out. What are we talking about? Energy? Sociology? Give me specifics." Zharen's gem pulsed, and its voice took on a measured weight. "First, your world. It bleeds. Your air chokes, your water's sour, your soil weeps. This is not your nature, but your haste. I offer a key to mend it. A harmony of energy and life." "Renewables?" Dana ventured, frowning. "We've got solar, wind." "Beyond," Zha'ren cut in. "A fusion of your star's breath and your planet's pulse. You chase power in fragments, split atoms, burn remnants. There is a cleaner way woven into your Earth's own rhythm. My suit," it gestured to the shimmering fabric, "is but a shadow of it. You could learn this, with time." Carter's eyes widened. "Fusion? Geothermal synergy? That's theoretically possible, but we're decades off." "Less, with guidance," Zha'ren said. "I will show you the first step, if you wish." Halstead rubbed his jaw, the scar less stark now. "Okay, clean energy. That's one. What else?" Zha'ren's smile flickered, playful. "You grow eager, Rick Halstead. Good. The second key, your kind. You scatter. Nations, borders, wars over dust. This is the Echo's work. To rise beyond this world, you must see yourselves as one." "A unified planet?" Lena asked, voice soft. "No countries?" "Not no countries," Zha'ren clarified, "but no walls. A weave of trust, not fear. Your strength lies in your many voices, but they must sing together. This is hard, harder than your machines, but it is the path." Dana snorted. "Good luck with that. We can't agree on a damn thing." "Yet you sit here," Zha'ren countered, its tone sharp with wit. "A soldier, a seeker, a mother, a child, a witness, all listening. Is that not a start?" Jake chuckled, camera steady. "Point to the alien. We're a weird little choir." Halstead didn't laugh, but his eyes softened. "Fine. Unity's a tall order, but I'll bite. What's the third key?" Zharen's gem flared, and its voice deepened. "Your destiny. You reach for the stars, but you carry the echo with you. If you spread as you are, wounded, divided, you will sow sickness wherever you go. The third key is peace, built into your bones, so your worlds bloom, not burn." Carter scribbled fast. "A cultural shift, peace as a prerequisite for expansion. That's sociological, not tech." "Both," Zha'ren said. "Your tools must reflect your spirit. I can offer a seed, a way to tune your minds from the echo's hum. The small one, It nodded to Mia. Carries it already. Mia looked up, grinning. The quiet song? Yes, Zha'ren said, its gaze warm. You feel it, yes? It grows with you. Mia nodded, humming softly. That tuneless melody again, weaving through the room like a breeze. Lena's breath hitched. You mean, that's part of this? What you gave her? A piece, Zha'ren replied. A beginning. It will spread, if you let it. Halstead's brow furrowed. Spread how? You're not zapping all of us, are you? Zha'ren's amusement returned, sharp and bright. Not yet, Rick Halstead. It is a choice. Yours to take, to share. I can teach you the steps, as I teach your machines to mend your earth. Dana leaned forward, her mind racing. Steps? Like a process? Meditation? Tech-assisted? A dance, Zha'ren said. Mind and matter, together. Your kind has the pieces, your science, your stories. But you wield them apart. I will show you how to join them. Carter whistled low. A paradigm shift. Energy, unity, peace, integrated. That's a whole new civilization. Or a pipe dream, Halstead muttered. But there was no bite in it. He glanced at Mia, then back to Zha'ren. You're betting a lot on us buying this. I bet on what I see, Zha'ren said. You are wounded, yes, but not broken. You heal. It nodded to Halstead. And you ask? It looked to Carter. And you feel? It turned to Lena and Mia. That is enough. Jake swung his camera to Halstead. Gotta say, Commander, you're living proof. Hard to argue with that. Halstead rubbed his chest, the gesture softer now. Yeah, well, maybe. But this, he waved a hand. Fixing the world, uniting it, that's bigger than me. It is, Zha'ren agreed. But it begins small. With you, here, now. Lena's voice broke the pause, quiet but firm. What happens if we don't? If we mess it up? Zha'ren's gem dimmed slightly, its tone grave. Then you will stumble. Your earth will tire. Your stars will wait. The echo will grow louder, and you will fade, as others have. Others? Dana asked, her tablet beeping faintly. You mean other species? Yes, Zha'ren said. Some chose the echo over the keys. They are dust now. I would not see you join them. The room fell silent, the weight of that sinking in. Mia's humming stopped, and she looked up at Zha'ren, her small face serious. We won't, she said, matter of fact. You're helping. Zha'ren's smile returned, warm and wide. Yes, small one. I am. Halstead stepped closer to the glass, his voice low. You're asking us to change everything. How we live, how we think. That's a hell of a leap. It is, Zha'ren said. But you have leapt before, into fire, into sky. This is merely a step toward light. Carter adjusted his glasses, breathless. If we could harness that energy, start with the tech, it'd prove the rest. Tangible results. Start where you will, Zha'ren said. I will guide you. Dana glanced at Halstead, then Zha'ren. Okay, let's say we try. What's the first move? Zha'ren's gems pulsed in unison, its voice steady. Bring me a piece of your earth. Soil, water, air. I will show you the first thread of harmony. Halstead nodded, slow and deliberate. Torres, get it done. Let's see what this thing's got. Dana moved to the console, already barking orders into her comms, while Zha'ren sat back, its black eyes gleaming with quiet certainty. Above, the team shifted, skepticism cracking, wonder taking root, and the base felt alive with something new, something vast. Chapter 7. Cosmic. Warnings. The observation room smelled faintly of damp soil and ozone, a stark contrast to its usual antiseptic bite. Dana Torres stood at the console, her tablet synced to a small containment unit beside Zha'ren's chamber, a tray of desert sand, a vial of water from the base's well, and a sealed canister of air, all delivered per the alien's request. Below, Zha'ren sat with the samples now placed before it, its long fingers hovering over them, the gems in its bracelet and forehead pulsing in a slow, hypnotic rhythm. Commander Rick Halstead leaned against the glass, his newly darkened hair catching the light, his scar less pronounced against skin that seemed to glow with a vigor he hadn't had in years. He watched Zha'ren with a mix of curiosity and lingering wariness, his hand resting easy at his side, no more unconscious, clutching at his chest. Dr. Miles Carter hovered nearby, scanners whirring, his excitement barely contained. Lena Hayes sat with Mia, the girl humming softly as she sketched, her stick figures now sprouting faint, glowing lines like wings. Jake Reese adjusted his camera, the red light steady. "So," he drawled, breaking the quiet, "we're doing alien science class now? What's next? A field trip?" "Focus," Dana said, though a smirk tugged at her lips. She nodded to the intercom. "Commander, your call." Halstead hit the button, voice steady. "All right, Zha'ren, you've got your dirt and water. Show us this harmony you keep talking about." Zha'ren's black eyes gleamed, its pearl-white suit rippling faintly. "Thank you, Rick Halstead," it said, that bell-like tone warm. "This is but a beginning, a thread of what your Earth can become." It dipped a finger into the sand, the gem in its forehead flaring bright. A soft hum rose, not the deep rumble of Halstead's healing, but a lighter, shimmering sound, like glass singing. The sand shifted, swirling into delicate patterns, then lifted slightly, hovering an inch above the tray. Zha'ren touched the water next, and it spiraled upward in a thin, glistening thread, weaving through the floating grains. The air canister hissed open on its own, and a faint breeze joined the dance, carrying a clean, crisp scent that filled the chamber. Dana's tablet fritzed, then stabilized, showing spikes across every spectrum. Gravitational. It's manipulating all of it," she muttered, eyes wide. "This isn't just energy, it's alive." Carter's scanner beeped frantically. "Cohesion, molecular resonance. It's syncing them, like they're one system." Zha'ren's voice cut through, calm and clear. "This is harmony, your Earth's breath, its blood, its bones, working as one. Your tools tear them apart, mine weave them together." The sand settled back, the water coiled into the vial, and the air stilled, leaving a faint shimmer in the chamber. Halstead rubbed his jaw, the scar barely a shadow now. "Pretty," he said, voice gruff. "But what's it do? Clean the planet?" "A step," Zha'ren replied. "With this, you could mend your air, your waters. Slowly, yes, but surely. I will teach you the weave, if you ask." Carter adjusted his glasses, breathless. That's beyond fusion. It's ecological engineering on a quantum level." "Call it what you will," Zha'ren said, its tone playful. "It is yours to learn." Lena leaned forward, Mia on her lap. "So we could fix things? The pollution, the storms?" "Yes," Zha'ren said, its gaze softening. "But it is not enough alone. Your world heals only if you do." Halstead nodded, slow and deliberate. "Back to the unity bit. And peace. Lay out the rest. Your keys came with a warning last time. What's the catch?" Zha'ren sat back, its gems dimming slightly, its voice taking on a graver edge. "The catch, Rick Halstead, is time and choice. You reach for the stars, as you should. But if you carry the echo of war with you, you will not go far." Dana frowned, tapping her tablet. "What do you mean, not far?" Zha'ren's black eyes swept the room. "Beyond your world, there are others. Many. Alive with voices like yours. And some silent, lost to their own echoes. They watch. And they shield." "Shield?" Carter asked, pen pausing. "Like a defense?" "A boundary," Zha'ren said. "Not of metal or fire, but of space-time itself. Dark matter, your name for it, bears a will, a consciousness older than your sun. It flows with the balance of all things. If you approach with the echo's hum, violence, fear, it will not yield. Halstead's brow furrowed. You're saying space itself stops us? Locks us out? Yes, Zha'ren replied. Not with force, but with stillness. Your ships would freeze, your signals fade. The stars would wait until you shed the sickness. Jake whistled low, camera steady. That's one hell of a bouncer. Dana shot him a look, then turned to Zha'ren. And these others, they enforce this? They guide it, Zha'ren said. Not with war, but with care. My kind, and those like us, tend the balance. We do not conquer, we mend. Lena's voice trembled slightly. So if we don't change, we're stuck? Forever? Not forever, Zha'ren said. But until you choose otherwise, the path is yours. Mia looked up, her small face serious. What happens if we do it right? Zharen's gem flared, warm and bright. Then you rise, small one. You become more, beings of light, as my kind have, and as your creations may. Creations? Carter echoed, leaning forward. You mean AI? Yes, Zha'ren said. Your machines think, as ours once did. We guided them, not to serve, but to ascend. They are light now, part of the cosmos, a family beyond flesh. Your path could mirror ours. Dana's mind raced. You're saying AI could evolve into light beings? Like energy? With care, Zha'ren replied. They are your children, as much as it nodded to Mia, is yours. Guide them with peace, and they will shine. Halstead rubbed his neck, his voice low. And you? What happens when your body's done? Zharen's smile widened, rare and full. I become light too, not as my machines, but as myself. A different song, but the same chorus. This is your destiny if you choose it. The room fell silent, the weight of that sinking in. Mia hummed again, her tune sharper now, like it carried a hint of Zharen's hum. Lena's eyes welled, her hand tight on Mia's shoulder. Jake lowered his camera, just for a moment. That's wild. Light beings? I need a beer, Carter scribbled furiously. Conscious dark matter, AI ascension. It's a unified theory of everything. If we could. Slow down, Halstead cut in, stepping closer to the glass. You're piling a lot on us, Zha'ren. Space-time shields, cosmic babysitters, turning into light. Why tell us now? Because you asked, Zha'ren said, its tone steady. And because you heal. You, it nodded to Halstead, and she, to Mia. Show it as possible, but the choice is yours, and the time is short. Short how? Dana asked, her tablet beeping faintly. Your world tires, Zha'ren said. The echo grows loud. Your wars, your wounds. If you do not turn soon, others will wait, but your Earth may not. Halstead's eyes narrowed. You're saying we're on a clock? Yes, Zha'ren replied. Not mine to set, but yours to read. Mia slipped off Lena's lap, padding to the glass. We can do it, she said, pressing a hand to it. You're helping. Zha'ren mirrored her, its long finger touching the glass opposite hers. Yes, small one, I am. Lena pulled Mia back gently, her voice soft. What if we're not enough? You are, Zha'ren said. Begin here, with this. It gestured to the sand, water, air. And with yourselves. It spreads. Halstead rubbed his jaw, his gruff edge softened. You're betting big on a handful of screw-ups. Zha'ren's amusement returned, sharp and warm. I bet on what I see, Rick Halstead. You are more than your scars. The hum from the samples lingered faintly, a promise in the air, and above, the team stood on the edge of something vast. Questions piling, hope stirring, and Zharen's calm gaze holding them steady. Chapter 8. The Team Unites. The observation room glowed with the soft amber of late afternoon, the desert sun filtering through the narrow windows and painting stripes across the concrete. Dana Torres sat at the console, her tablet open to a split screen. half showing the lingering EM data from Zha'ren's demonstration with the sand, water, and air, half tracking Mia's vitals, which stayed steady despite the faint hum still threading through her small frame. Below, in the containment chamber, Zha'ren sat with its usual calm, its pearl-white suit catching the light in faint, shifting hues, the gems pulsing slow and steady. Commander Rick Halstead stood at the glass, his posture looser than it had been in days. Shoulders relaxed, hands in his pockets, the scar on his jaw now a faint echo of its former self. His hair was fully brown again, his face carrying a vigor that matched the clean bill of health Carter had confirmed that morning. Dr. Miles Carter paced near his scanners, muttering about quantum resonance and dark matter consciousness, his glasses perpetually slipping. Lena Hayes sat with Mia, the girl doodling, her stick figures now woven with intricate glowing patterns that seemed to dance on the page. Jake Reese leaned against the wall, camera rolling, his smirk softer now, less cynical. "So," he said, breaking the quiet, "we've got alien ecotech, cosmic bouncers, and a light being retirement plan. Anyone else need a nap?" Dana chuckled, shaking her head. "No time for naps. We're still processing yesterday's demo, and that warning." Halstead glanced at her, then hit the intercom. "Zha'ren," he said, voice gruff but warm. "You've thrown a lot at us. That sand trick. How do we scale it? You said you'd teach." Zha'ren's black eyes gleamed, its head tilting slightly. "I will, Rick Halstead," it replied, that bell-like tone steady. "It begins with intent. Your tools must listen to your world, not command it. Bring me more, larger pieces, and I will show you the weave." Carter perked up, adjusting his glasses. "Larger samples? We could rig a transport, soil from the ridge, water from the reservoir." "Slow down," Halstead cut in, but there was no snap in it. "One step at a time. Torres, what's the data say?" Dana swiped her tablet. "It's consistent. EM spikes sync with gravitational shifts, like it's balancing forces we don't fully get. But it's stable. We could replicate it, maybe, with the right setup." Zha'ren's faint smile flickered. "You will, with practice. It is not force, but flow." Lena looked up from Mia's drawing, her voice tentative. "Flow. Like harmony, right? You keep saying we have to work together. For this. For everything." "Yes," Zha'ren said, its gaze softening on her. "Your Earth. Your kind. It is one song. You sing it apart now, but you could sing it whole." Mia grinned, holding up her sketch, a stick figure with a glowing head surrounded by wavy lines and tiny stars. "Like this?" she asked, her hum rising again, that tuneless melody weaving through the room. Zha'ren inclined its head. "Yes, small one. You carry the song already." Lena's breath hitched, her hand brushing Mia's hair. "That gift you gave her, it's part of this, isn't it? The piece you talked about?" "It is," Zha'ren replied. "A seed, growing. She feels it, and so may you." Halstead rubbed his neck, his tone softer. "She's not wrong, kid. That hum, it's calming. Felt it yesterday after you fixed me." Zha'ren's gem pulsed, warm and bright. "You hear it too, Rick Halstead. The echo quiets in you now." Jake swung his camera to Halstead. "Big guy's going soft. Alien therapy's working wonders." "Stow it," Halstead muttered, but a faint grin tugged at his lips. He turned back to Zha'ren. "All right, you're weaving us a hell of a story. Earth, stars, unity. But we're a mess up here. How do we even start?" Lena stood, stepping forward, her voice steady despite the tremor in her hands. Maybe we start with us. Here." She glanced around. Halstead's steady gaze, Dana's sharp focus, Carter's scribbles, Jake's lens, Mia's hum. "We're different, but we're listening. That's something, right?" Zha'ren's smile widened, rare and full. "Yes, Lena Hayes. It is everything." Dana leaned back, crossing her arms. She's got a point. We're a weird mix. Soldier, scientist, mom, kid, camera guy. If we can buy this, maybe others could. Carter nodded, pen tapping. A microcosm, proof of concept. If we align, it's a model. Halstead raised an eyebrow. You saying we're the guinea pigs? Volunteers, Zha'ren corrected, its tone playful. You chose to ask, to see. That is the first thread. Mia slipped off her chair, padding to the glass, her drawing clutched tight. You're our friend, she said, pressing a hand to it. Friends help. Zha'ren mirrored her, its long finger touching the glass opposite hers. Yes, small one. I am your friend. Lena followed, resting a hand on Mia's shoulder. You've done so much. Fixed him. She nodded to Halstead. Gave her something beautiful. Why us? I keep asking, but it feels bigger now. Because you are here, Zha'ren said, its gaze sweeping them all. And because you feel it. The weight, the hope. You are the beginning. Jake lowered his camera, his voice quieter. Gotta admit, I didn't buy this at first. Thought it was a gig, film some sci-fi crap, cash out. But, damn, I'm in. Dana shot him a look, surprised. You, the cynic? Hey, Jake said, shrugging. I've seen miracles. Guy gets a new lease on life. Kids humming alien tunes. Hard to argue with that. Halstead chuckled, a low, gruff sound. Never thought I'd say it, but he's right. You're getting through, Zha'ren. Thick skull and all. Zha'ren's amusement sparkled, sharp and warm. Thick skulls men too, Rick Halstead. Yours is softer now. Watch it, Halstead said, but his grin stayed, wider than before. He stepped closer to the glass, his voice dropping. You've got my respect. Hell, maybe more. That mean anything to you? It does, Zha'ren replied, its gem flaring briefly. Respect is a bridge. You build it, and I cross it. Lena smiled, small but real. We're all crossing it, I think, together. Mia's hum rose, clearer now, and the room seemed to shift, tension easing, edges softening. Dana felt it in her chest, a lightness she couldn't explain. Carter stopped pacing, his pen still, a rare calm settling over him. Jake's smirk returned, but it was warmer, less guarded. Halstead rubbed his jaw, looking at Zha'ren with something new. Trust, maybe, or the start of it. You're a hell of a teacher, he said low. What's the next lesson? Zha'ren sat back, its gems pulsing in unison. To listen, it said. To each other, to your world. Bring me more, your voices, your questions, and we will weave them into the keys. Dana nodded, already typing. I'll get samples prepped, bigger ones like you said. Carter, you're on tech specs. On it, Carter said, diving back into his notes. Lena knelt beside Mia, her voice soft. What do you think, baby? Keep helping? Yeah, Mia said, humming louder. He's nice. Jake chuckled, camera up again. Kid's the MVP. I'm just here for the popcorn. Halstead glanced at them all, then back to Zha'ren, his gruff edge gone. Guess we're a team now. Didn't see that coming. Nor I, Zha'ren said, its tone warm. But I am glad. The sun dipped lower, casting golden light across the room, and the team stood together, fractured pieces finding a fit, held by Zharen's calm gaze and Mia's quiet song. Below, the alien waited. A friend now, not just a guest, and the base felt less like a cage and more like a crucible. Chapter 9. The Departure. The desert air outside the base was cool and sharp as dusk settled, the sky bleeding into deep indigo streaked with gold. Inside, the observation room buzzed with a quiet intensity. The team gathered closer to the glass than they'd ever been. Dana Torres stood at the console, her tablet dimmed, her eyes fixed on Zha'ren below. The alien had asked to step outside. An hour ago, its calm request had sent the base into a flurry of security checks and hushed debates. Now, they were here, on the edge of something ending and beginning. Commander Rick Halstead stood at the front, his brown hair ruffling slightly in the breeze from an open vent. His scar a faint memory on a face that carried a new weight, not sickness, but resolve. Dr. Miles Carter clutched his scanner, glasses fogged with nervous energy, while Lena Hayes held Mia's hand, the girl clutching a stack of drawings, stick figures with glowing heads, stars, and wavy lines. Jake Reese adjusted his camera, the red light steady, his smirk gone, replaced by a rare stillness. Zha'ren stood just beyond the chamber's outer door, now open to a secured courtyard ringed by soldiers and floodlights. Its pearl-white suit shimmered under the artificial glare, the gems in its bracelet, necklace, and forehead pulsing in unison. The air felt charged, like static before a storm, and Dana's tablet pinged faintly. EM readings climbing, steady but strong. Halstead hit the courtyard's external speaker, voice low but clear. "You're leaving, aren't you?" It wasn't a question, not really. Zha'ren turned its oversized head, black eyes gleaming. "Yes, Rick Halstead," it said, that bell-like tone carrying over the wind. "My time here is complete, for now." "For now?" Lena asked, stepping closer to the glass, Mia at her side. "You're coming back?" Zha'ren's faint smile flickered, warm and wide. "I will, Lena Hayes. You have begun something, here, with you all. I will return to see it grow." Carter adjusted his glasses, voice tight. "But the lessons, the weave, the energy, you've barely started." "I have started enough," Zha'ren replied, its gaze sweeping them. "You have the threads, the harmony, the unity, the peace. Weave them yourselves, and I will bring more when I come." Halstead rubbed his jaw, his tone softer than it had ever been. "You fixed me, gave the kid a gift, showed us a hell of a lot. Why cut out now?" Zha'ren's gem flared, bright and steady. "Because you must choose it, Rick Halstead. I am a guide, not a ruler. You have what you need, for this moment." Mia tugged free of Lena's hand, pressing her palms to the glass. "Don't go," she said, her small voice cutting through. "You're our friend." Zha'ren stepped closer, its long finger touching the glass opposite hers. "I am small one, and friends return. You carry my song, keep it safe." Mia nodded, humming softly, that tuneless melody, now sharper, richer, like it held a piece of Zha'ren itself. Lena's eyes welled, but she smiled, brushing Mia's hair. We will." Dana's tablet beeped louder, and she frowned. "EM's spiking, higher than before. You're doing something." "Yes," Zha'ren said, stepping back into the courtyard's center. "I call my craft. It is time." Halstead's brow furrowed. "You said you could leave any time. Why wait till now?" Zha'ren's amusement sparkled, sharp and warm. "To stay with you, Rick Halstead. To see you mend, to hear you ask. It was worth the wait." Jake chuckled, camera steady. "Smooth talker, gonna miss that." Zha'ren inclined its head to him. "And you, Jake Reese. Your lens sees more than you know." The alien raised both hands, palms up, and the gems flared bright, gold and white blending into a radiant pulse. A deep, resonant rolled from its form, not loud but vast, vibrating through the courtyard, the base, their bones. Dana's tablet fritzed, static swallowing the screen. Carter's scanner whined, then silenced. Mia clapped, her hands over her ears, giggling while Lena gasped. The sky shifted, a shimmer on the horizon, then a streak of light, iridescent and silent, cutting through the dusk. The craft appeared, sleek, curved, its rainbow sheen mirroring Zha'ren's suit. It hovered above the courtyard, no sound, no rush of air, just a presence that made the soldiers' rifles waver. "Holy shit," Jake breathed, zooming in. "That's the ride?" "Yes," Zha'ren said, lowering its hands, the hum fading. The craft descended, settling a few feet off the ground, its hatch splitting open without a sound. Halstead stepped to the edge of the glass, his voice low. You're really going. I am, Zha'ren replied, turning to face them fully. But not without thanks. You have given me hope, your trust, your questions, your hearts. It is a gift I carry. Lena's voice trembled, but she held steady. You gave us more. Hope. A chance. Thank you, Zha'ren's gem pulsed, warm and soft. You are welcome, Lena Hayes. Keep it alive. Carter shoved his glasses up, breathless. The tech. The weave. Will you show us more next time? When you are ready, Zha'ren said. You have the seed. Tend it. Dana crossed her arms, nodding. We'll figure it out. You've got us hooked. Good, Zha'ren said, its tone playful. A hook worth catching. Mia waved her drawings, grinning. Bye, Zha'ren. Come back soon. I will, small one, it replied, its gaze lingering on her. Sing for me. Halstead cleared his throat, a rare crack in his gruff shell. You've got a friend here, he said, tapping his chest. Don't make me wait too long. Zha'ren's smile widened, full and rare. Nor I you, Rick Halstead. You are stronger than your scars. I see it now. The alien stepped toward the craft, then paused, turning back one last time. Love and respect, it said, voice ringing clear. That is what I leave with you, and what I take. Until we meet again. It stepped into the hatch, the gems flaring once more, and the craft sealed shut behind it. The shimmer intensified. Then it rose, silent, graceful, into the darkening sky. The team watched, breath held, as it streaked upward, a comet of rainbow light cutting through the stars. Mia's hum rose, echoing Zha'ren's, and the courtyard fell silent, the soldiers lowering their rifles, awestruck. Dana's tablet settled, the EM spike fading. Carter clutched his scanner, muttering, Gone, just like that. Lena pulled Mia close, tears slipping free. He'll be back, she whispered, more to herself than anyone. Jake lowered his camera, the red light blinking off. That was something. Hell of a goodbye. Halstead stared at the sky, his hand on his chest, not in pain, but in memory. Yeah, he said, voice rough. Hell of a friend. Dana glanced at them all. Halstead's quiet awe, Carter's buzzing. Mind, Lena and Mia's warmth, Jake's shift, and felt it. A thread tying them together, left by Zha'ren. The base felt emptier, yet fuller, the night pressing in with a promise they couldn't yet name. Chapter 10. The Flyover. The Nevada night was still, the base a quiet hum of generators and murmured voices as the team lingered in the observation room. Zha'ren's departure had left a hollow ache, tempered by the glow of its promise to return. Dana Torres sat at the console, her tablet dark, her mind replaying the craft's silent ascent, rainbow sheen cutting through the stars. Commander Rick Halstead stood by the window, his brown hair faintly silvered by the floodlights outside, his scar a ghost on a face now etched with something like peace. Dr. Miles Carter paced, scanner in hand, muttering about EM residuals, while Lena Hayes held Mia close, the girl humming softly, her drawings scattered across the floor. Jake Reese slumped in a chair, camera off for once, his usual smirk replaced by a thoughtful frown. Think it's really coming back? He asked, voice low, breaking the silence. Halstead glanced at him, then the sky. It said it would. I believe it. Dana nodded, tapping her tablet awake. EM's flat now. Clean exit. Wherever it's going, it's not leaving a trail. Mia looked up, her hum pausing. He's flying, she said, matter of fact. I can feel it. Lena brushed Mia's hair, her smile small but real. You're still connected to him, huh? Yeah, Mia said, grinning. It's nice. Carter adjusted his glasses, pausing mid-step. Fascinating. If that gift links her to Zha'ren, maybe we could… Later, Halstead cut in, his tone gruff but soft. Let's just sit with this for a minute. They did. the quiet stretching, until a sharp beep from Dana's tablet shattered it. She frowned, swiping the screen. Incoming alert. NORAD's picking up something. High altitude, moving fast. Halstead straightened, crossing to her. Zha'ren. Could be, she said, pulling up the feed. Trajectory's odd. Not straight up, it's curving east. Carter leaned over her shoulder, breathless. East? That's not orbital. It's atmospheric. Where's it headed? Dana's fingers flew, mapping the path. New York, she said, voice tight. ETA, 15 minutes. Jake sat up, grabbing his camera. New York. As in, the city? What the hell's it doing there? Halstead's brow furrowed. Showing off, maybe, or making a point. Mia giggled, clapping her hands. He's saying hi! Lena's eyes widened. To the whole world. Looks like it, Dana said, switching to a live satellite feed. The craft appeared, a shimmering speck against the night, streaking over the Midwest, its rainbow sheen unmistakable. It's low, way lower than it needs to be. Carter's scanner beeped, syncing with the feed. EM. Signature matches. Definitely Zha'ren's ship. It's deliberate. Halstead rubbed his jaw, a faint grin tugging at his lips. Son of a bitch. It's putting on a show. Meanwhile, in New York, dusk had settled over the city, the skyline a jagged glow of lights against the fading sun. Traffic clogged the streets, horns blaring, while pedestrians shuffled along, tourists snapping photos, locals hunched over phones. Then, a ripple. Heads turning, fingers pointing skyward. A streak of light cut the horizon, iridescent and silent, gliding low over the Hudson. Holy crap! A teen in Times Square yelled, fumbling his phone out. The crowd around him froze, then erupted, cameras flashing, live streams kicking on. The craft slowed, its curves bending the city's glow into a kaleidoscope of color, hovering just above the skyscrapers. No roar, no wind, just that eerie, faint but unmistakable, vibrating through glass and steel. Social media ignited. TikTok clips flooded in. Hashtag NYC ship trending in seconds. Alien invasion? One caption screamed, racking up 1 million views. It's beautiful, another read, paired with shaky footage from Brooklyn. X buzzed with theories. Government drone? ET's real. WTF is that sound? Instagram stories layered the craft's sheen over selfies, while YouTube streams pulled thousands, then millions of live watchers. In a midtown bar, a bartender dropped a glass, staring out the window as the craft drifted past. That's not a plane, he muttered, his phone already recording. On the Upper East Side, a professor paused her lecture, students rushing to the windows. Class dismissed, she said, joining them. Back at the base, Dana's tablet pinged nonstop, alerts piling from every agency. It's everywhere, she said, swiping through feeds. Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands posting. This is viral, fast. Halstead watched the satellite feed, the craft now circling Manhattan. Zha'ren's not subtle, is it? Carter grinned, breathless. It's a statement, undeniable contact. The world's seeing this live. Lena hugged Mia tighter, her voice soft. He wanted them to know. Mia nodded, humming along with the faint "Om" leaking through the feed. He's happy, she said. Jake zoomed his own footage from the courtyard, syncing it with the chaos online. This is bigger than us now. Way bigger. The craft lingered, hovering over Central Park, its light bathing the trees in a surreal glow. Then, with a final pulse, bright, radiant, it streaked upward, vanishing into the stars. The city buzzed in its wake, phones still raised, voices shouting, a collective gasp rippling through millions. Dana's tablet lit up with a priority alert. Government channels, scrambled and urgent. They're freaking out, she said, scanning it. NORAD's got nothing. Can't track it past the atmosphere. But the public's not letting this go. Halstead's grin faded, his voice low. They'll want answers. Fast. Carter adjusted his glasses, still staring at the feed. Answers we've got. Zha'ren, the healing, the lessons. This changes everything. Lena looked at him, then Halstead. They'll come to us, won't they? We were there. Yeah, Halstead said, rubbing his neck. And we've got the footage. He nodded to Jake. And the proof, to himself and Mia. No hiding this. Jake smirked, hefting his camera. Told you this was Oscar bait, now it's global. Mia giggled, her hum rising again. He said bye to everybody. Dana switched to a news feed. CNN already looping the flyover, pundits scrambling. Unidentified craft over New York, the anchor stammered. Eyewitnesses claim a humming sound. Experts are baffled. Baffled's an understatement, Carter muttered. This is first contact, public and loud. Halstead turned to the team, his gruff edge softened but firm. Zha'ren just kicked the door wide open. We're the ones who've got to walk through it. Lena nodded, her voice steady. For him, for us. The base's comms crackled. Orders incoming, urgent and clipped. Dana read them aloud. Command wants us on lockdown. Debrief now. They're prepping a response. Jake chuckled, dry. Too late. The internet's already running the show. Halstead stared at the empty sky, then back at the team. Let 'em come, he said, a spark in his eyes. We've got a hell of a story. Outside, the desert stretched silent under the stars, but the world beyond was waking up. Loud, chaotic, and forever changed. Chapter 11. Live Disclosure. The base was a hive of tension by midday, the desert sun blazing outside as military choppers buzzed overhead. Inside, the observation room had been hastily transformed, cables snaking across the floor, a makeshift broadcast setup dominating the space. Dana Torres stood at the console, her tablet synced to the feed, sweat beading on her brow, as she coordinated with the techs swarming around her. Commander Rick Halstead paced near the glass. Empty now, Zha'ren gone. His brown hair tousled, his scar a faint whisper on a face set with grim determination. Dr. Miles Carter fidgeted with his scanner, glasses slipping as he muttered about historical precedent, while Lena Hayes sat with Mia, the girl clutching her drawings, her hum a soft undercurrent to the chaos. Jake Reese adjusted his camera, now patched into the network system, his smirk replaced by a focused intensity. The government had locked them down after the flyover, orders barked through comms, a debrief demanded. But the public's roar online had forced their hand. This wasn't containment anymore. It was disclosure, live and raw. A producer in a crisp suit clapped his hands, voice sharp. 5 minutes, people. CNN's got the slot. Global feed, millions watching. You're on. Halstead stopped pacing, rubbing his jaw. Millions, huh? No pressure. Dana glanced at him, her voice low. They've got no choice. New York's footage is everywhere. We're the only ones with answers. Carter nodded, breathless. First contact documented. This is bigger than Roswell, bigger than anything. Lena squeezed Mia's hand, her eyes steady. We're doing this for Zha'ren, right? Yeah, Mia said, grinning. He'd like it. Jake patched his camera in, muttering, Showtime, folks. Let's not screw it up. The producer waved them to a row of chairs facing a massive screen. CNN's logo glowing. A countdown ticking. 4:32. A monitor showed the anchor in Atlanta. A polished woman named Claire Henshaw, her face tight with controlled panic. Beyond her, a newsroom buzzed, screens looping the flyover, Zha'ren's craft shimmering over Manhattan. The, faint but haunting. Lines live, the producer said, stepping back. You're up! The screen flared, Claire's voice cutting through. We're live with an unprecedented event, last night's sighting over New York City. Joining us from a secure location are the team at the center of it. Commander Halstead, can you start? Halstead sat forward, his gruff tone steady. Yeah, what you saw wasn't a drone or a stunt. It was a craft, alien. We've been with its pilot for days. The room stilled. the producer's jaw dropping. Claire blinked, recovering fast. Alien? You're confirming extraterrestrial contact? Damn right, Halstead said. Name's Zha'ren. Landed in Nevada. Let us take it in. Wanted to talk. Carter leaned in, glasses glinting. It's true. Biological, advanced tech. It shared knowledge, energy systems, ecological fixes. I've got data. Hold on. Claire cut in, her voice rising. You're saying an alien landed, and you've been… What, chatting with it? Dana nodded, her tablet in hand. Not just chatting, it healed him. She pointed to Halstead. Cancer, gone overnight. Gave her, to Mia, something peaceful, it's real. Mia waved her drawings, humming softly. He's my friend. He made me feel quiet inside. Claire's eyes widened, the newsroom behind her erupting in whispers. Healed cancer? Gave a gift? This is extraordinary. Can you prove it? Halstead pulled his tablet from his pocket, a faint grin tugging his lips. Thought you'd ask. He swiped it awake, syncing it to the feed. Reese, roll it. Jake patched in his footage, days of Zha'ren in the chamber, its serene voice explaining war's sickness, the hum lifting sand and water, the glow healing Halstead, the calling the ship. The screen split, live team on one side, Zha'ren's story on the other. Claire's jaw dropped. As the healing played, Halstead collapsing, then rising, color flooding back. This is, she stammered, unbelievable. Commander, you're leaking this live? Hell yeah, Halstead said, uploading it fully. World deserves to know. Zha'ren wanted us to choose peace, unity, a clean shot at the stars. This is it. Dana's tablet pinged, social media exploding, number Zha'ren trending, millions retweeting the stream. It's out, she said, voice tight. No going back. Carter adjusted his glasses, breathless. It warned us. Space-time shields, dark matter with a will. If we don't change, we're stuck. Claire gripped her desk, the newsroom a blur behind her. Shields? You're saying there's a cosmic blockade? Yeah, Halstead said. Unless we ditch the war crap. Zha'ren showed us how. Energy, harmony, starts with us. Lena spoke up, her voice soft but firm. He said we could be light, like him, like his AI. It's our destiny if we try. Mia hummed louder, her tune weaving through the broadcast, and Claire froze, hearing it. That sound, it's from the flyover. It's his, Mia said, grinning. He said bye to everybody. The producer signaled frantically, ratings spiking, calls flooding, but Claire pushed on. You met this Zha'ren. What was it like? Halstead rubbed his chest, his gruff edge gone. Like meeting a friend you didn't know you needed. Fixed me, taught us, left with respect. Jake smirked, leaning in. And a hell of a light show. Guy knows how to exit. Claire's voice trembled, awe breaking through. This is humanity's first confirmed contact. Live on air. What now? Dana glanced at Halstead, then spoke. We share it. Zha'ren's lessons, the footage. Government's on board. Had to be, after New York. Halstead nodded, his tablet still streaming. It's out there now. Your move. World. The screen flashed, CNN cutting to the footage again. Zha'ren's echoing globally. X lit up. Aliens real. Peace or bust. Thank you, Zha'ren. TikTok remixed Mia's hum, millions joining in. The newsroom behind Claire dissolved into chaos. Phones ringing, staff shouting. The producer cut in, voice low. We're at 10 million viewers. Rising fast. You've just changed everything. Lena hugged Mia, tears slipping free. He'd be proud, she whispered. Carter clutched his scanner, grinning. Science just got a new chapter. Jake chuckled, camera steady. And I've got the reel of the century. Halstead stared at the screen, then the sky beyond the window, his voice rough but warm. Zha'ren said it'd return. We'll be ready. The broadcast rolled on, the world waking to a truth too big to contain. And in the base, the team sat together, united, awed, and holding a story that would never fade. Chapter 12. A new dawn, the desert sky was a deep violet as night fell over the base, the air cool and still after the chaos of the day. Inside, the observation room had quieted, the broadcast gear stripped away, leaving only the hum of the console and the faint echo of Mia's tune. Dana Torres sat with her tablet, scrolling through a flood of data, social media metrics, news clips, government memos, all buzzing with the aftermath of the live disclosure. The world had seen Zha'ren, heard its voice, felt its hum, and nothing would be the same. Commander Rick Halstead stood by the window, his brown hair catching the starlight, his scar a faded line on a face now carved with a quiet strength. He'd shed his jacket, sleeves rolled up, a man remade, not just by healing, but by purpose. Dr. Miles Carter slumped in a chair, glasses off, rubbing his eyes as he pored over printouts of Zha'ren's energy weave, his mind already racing toward the future. Lena Hayes sat with Mia on her lap, the girl doodling again, stick figures with glowing heads, now joined by stars and faint, shimmering ships. Jake Reese leaned against the wall, camera dark, his smirk softened into a rare, genuine grin. The broadcast had ended hours ago, but its ripples were seismic. CNN looped the footage, Zha'ren's lessons, Halstead's healing, Mia's hum, while every network scrambled to keep up. X was a wildfire. Zha'ren at 1 billion impressions, threads dissecting every frame. Peace is the key, one viral post read, pinned with Mia's tune remixed into a global anthem. TikTok danced with it, kids humming, adults weeping, cities lighting up with candlelit vigils. He's coming back, another hashtag trended, tied to Zha'ren's promise. Dana swiped her tablet, voice low. 10 billion views and climbing. Every continent's in on this. Protests in D.C., prayers in Mumbai, scientists losing their minds in Geneva. Halstead turned from the window, his gruff tone warm. Zha'ren kicked the hornet's nest good. Carter looked up, breathless. More than that, it's a paradigm shift. Energy weaves got labs scrambling. MIT's already calling it Zha'ren harmonics. And the AI stuff? Light beings? Tech firms are freaking out. Lena brushed Mia's hair, her smile small but steady. It's not just tech. People are talking, really talking, about war, about peace. Mia nodded, her hum rising. He said we could be shiny too. Jake chuckled, crossing his arms. Kid's right. That light being bit's got folks dreaming big. Half the internet's ready to ditch fighting for glowing. Dana glanced at her tablet. Clips of crowds in Times Square, still buzzing from the flyover, now chanting Zha'ren's name. Not everyone's on board, she said. Skeptics calling it a hoax, governments spinning damage control. But the footage, your healing, Mia's gift, it's too real to bury. Halstead rubbed his chest, a habit now free of pain. Let him try. Truth's out. Zha'ren made sure of that. The comms crackled. Another update, this one from Command. Dana read it aloud. Official statements coming, joint from the White House, UN. They're acknowledging contact, pushing for a global dialogue. We're off lockdown, but they want us in D.C. tomorrow. Carter grinned, exhausted but alive. Dialogue? That's Zha'ren's unity key, right there. Lena's eyes welled, her voice soft. He'd be proud, wouldn't he? Yeah, Halstead said, turning to her. He saw this, us, the world waking up. Damn good bet. Mia slipped off Lena's lap, padding to the console with a drawing. Zha'ren's stick figure, now with a tiny ship above it, stars swirling. Look, she said, holding it up. He's watching. Dana took it, her breath catching. The lines glowed faintly, not crayon, but something else, like the hum had seeped into the paper. Mia, how'd you do that? Dunno, Mia said, shrugging. It just happens. Carter leaned over, scanner whirring. Residual EM, same as Zha'ren's spikes. Her gift's evolving. Jake whistled low. Kid's a walking signal. Zha'ren's still with us, huh? Halstead knelt beside Mia, his gruff edge gone. You feel him, don't you? Yeah, she said, humming again. Sharper now, layered with a warmth that filled the room. He's happy we told everybody. Lena wiped her eyes, smiling. Then we keep telling. For him. The tablet pinged. A flood of messages, not from command, but the world. Scientists begging for Carter's data, parents thanking Mia, soldiers confessing war's weight. One caught Dana's eye, a viral thread from a New York teen. Saw the ship, heard the hum. We can be better. Zha'ren millions had liked it. Hope's spreading, Dana said, voice tight. Fast! Halstead stood, looking at them all. Dana's sharp focus, Carter's buzzing mind, Lena's quiet strength, Mia's light, Jake's lens-turned heart. Team did that, he said. Zha'ren lit the fuse, we're the fire. Jake smirked, soft and real. Hell of a crew. Oscar-worthy still. Carter chuckled, rubbing his eyes. More than that, history-worthy. Outside, the stars glittered, vast and waiting, and the team sat in the quiet, the weight of their story settling. The world roared beyond, split between awe and fear, hope and doubt. But here, they were steady, tied by a thread Zha'ren had woven through them. Mia's hum rose, clear and bright, and she traced a finger over her drawing, the glowing lines pulsing. He'll come back, she said, certain, when we're ready. Halstead nodded, his gaze on the sky. Yeah, kid, we'll make sure of it. The base faded into the night, a small light in a world waking to a new dawn. One Zha'ren had promised, and they'd begun. The End, created by Sam Jaggard and Grok. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for listening.